Yes, I'm Charles Anderson. My age is almost 60.
And my name is Lori Anderson. And Charles has been my probably best friend since I was about 2 weeks old. When my mom put me in his arms, and we've been good friends ever since. We lived in the same town and got together all the time as families and friends, and through the years.
Growing up, we were best friends.
And you can tell that we've got this Minnesota accent
because
we all talk like this. I'm going to talk about how I got here with you too. Is living up in Minnesota, and you were living here, and I came down to visit one January, and decided that I wasn't going to go back. Well, I did go back, but I was back the next October.
A couple times, but you knew you wanted to be here.
He left the town that I lived in and closed my business, left, marriage and everybody else, and came down here and started my life here.
I mean, you were really not only excited, but you really wanted to do it. And of course, you know how much we love snow. Being from Minnesota originally, I came down myself because of that fact, and I, at that time, was on crutches, and I was asked to perform at Piedmont Park for the year of the disabled in 1982, and so I came down with crutches and danced my little tips off, and loved it. And I saw the nightlife. I went dancing, and I would throw my crutches up in the air, which I've been doing for many, many, many years, which was fun. And I decided to move to Atlanta and get warm, and then we connected. Those few years later. But
it was 1996 when I moved down here.
Yeah, I got to Atlanta in 1983.
Charles and I have been dancing together our whole lives.
We have been.
And we used to go disco dancing together. And
real disco.
Yes.
Listen to this, real disco, not the fake stuff, not this new stuff. People, unless they're disabled, unless they've been through it, they either fear it immensely and stay away, or want to know more about it. And I think a lot of us would be more than happy to answer questions if they just knew what to ask, or we'll just ask and we would just tell them.
Yeah.
It just takes understanding.
Yeah, it was quite a voyage in the hospital there. I mean, it was.
Oh, yeah.
You were in intensive care for a while because your heart was doing weird stuff, and then you had to have another surgery for your stomach or something.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, it was just.
I went on and on at Kennestone for that whole month. Yes, and finally they had enough of me. It was more than 3 days.
Oh, it was weeks.
Weeks and weeks. And they went, "Oh, we got to get him out of here," and so then I opted for a nursing home about 10 minutes away. I went there with this new stiff leg, and little did I know it would take as long as it did, but it was, so many things had to change to get myself back on my feet. Again.
And we should say, too, that the initial knee replacement was almost 4 years ago from this April. Yes. It would be 4 years. Yes. And so, let's see, when did you get out of the nursing home? Just 3 months ago now?
Yeah, October was when I changed.
So 3.5 years in a nursing home, in hospital.
Well, but getting in there, sure, you have therapy and you do all the therapy things, but it's, unless you've been in a nursing home, it's its own wild animal, because you're regimented. You do this and this and this and this, and that's the first thing I noticed, that day by day, and I mean this, nothing changed. There was no change. You got to know the pill cart noise, footstep noise. You knew what time it was you would go to bed at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you wouldn't get up till 10 o'clock the next day. And I had to face my two worst enemies, bed baths and bedpans.
Yeah.
And that was my regiment for the 3.5 years I was there. I couldn't go anywhere. So I was literally stuck that whole time. And so all I could go and do was go out in the garden and look at a tree and see a little bit of sky, but it was all enclosed.
Yeah, it's a courtyard, so you
couldn't
go anywhere.
The courtyard with a tree. Yeah, I take pictures of it, so it would be on my cell phone as the picture I would look at.
Yeah,
You know?
and I think one thing challenge too was being a person, with all your mental capabilities, living with roommates and people around you that were obviously not that way. Like the lady across the hall that thought she was a fire engine, or the little man next to you that swore all the time.
Oh yeah, he always wanted his way, and he'd just yell night or day. Yeah,
Yeah,
and they couldn't help it, but that wears on your nerves. It's like,
Yep.
and there's no escape. There's no escape, and no one to talk to about it because they're overwhelmed. My advocacy for the CNAs really took hold. I really wanted them to get better pay. I really wanted them to feel better because they're the ones that I felt were the last on the totem pole.
Mm-hmm.
They really deserved better because they actually took care of us, and they were our lifeblood. If they weren't having a good day, we didn't have a good day.
Yeah.
It took all that time, but finally getting out with the help of these people, like from Legal Aid and others, and then I kind of transitioned into this, and gradually I've just tried to do more and more on my own. And all this help came in, which, like Money Follows the Person, gave me the aid. Wonderful, wonderful program. And then I learned about We Are Olmsted, and that's a decision from the let me see, from the that says the people with disabilities have the right to live in a community.
And not at institutions.
And not in institutions, and so that I realized from the professionals that I was a big part of that, because I did transition, and I transitioned really smoothly, and that's not always possible.
Mm-mm.
And that's exciting. So that's been a big deal too. So everything in its time has brought me to this. So this is sort of my new assignment. But there again, I'm always powered up, ready to try something new.